Okay, are we all here? Huddle in. Triple G, Charlie J, come on in. Come on, let's cuddle up. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It comes to that point in proceedings where it's important, I think, we say a few words. First of all, I'm really sorry about how arduous that journey was from the church to the venue. Everyone okay? Yeah.
Great.
Are you hearing me at the back? Yeah.
Louder, please.
Louder? Turn that up a bit, Deanie boy.
You're in the way. Very loud.
You're in right away. Sit down! Sit down, penguin. Is that Paul? You're my focal point. Can you hear me all right?
Treble.
I need more treble because at the front.
Yeah, it's super treble.
Yeah.
Is it maybe my positioning key?
Dean, it wasn't a reference to the treble on there. It was a football thing.
Yes, Yops.
Thanks for clearing that up.
I've got your back. I've got your back.
Still focus, you.
So we.
Sorry about that. 2 minutes until.
That's fine. So we have a few people who'd like to say a few words, but it just falls on me as well to welcome you all. And there was just a couple of little bits that Yox and Jess wanted me to point out for later proceedings. Practicalities.
Fire exit.
So they have, well, first of all, a bit of housekeeping. Yox and Jess, so this is the holly bush. The bar is over in the top left. You'll find the bathrooms top right. So just so you've got your bearings.
Thanks, Greg.
That's fine.
I looked it up on Google.
Yeah, I'll book the Uber for later.
Thank you.
So two things. If anyone is thinking slightly about later and how to get home, they have very kindly organised for a rolling taxi to run from here to Stafford between 10 and 1 or anywhere in the surrounds, let's be honest.
Yeah. Although you do have to pay for it.
I
had to pay a deposit!
There's a lot of pressure organising those. So anyway, between 10 and 1, and if you kind of know roughly when, then just put your name on the board by the bar, so the taxi knows. But basically it's going back and forwards between 10 and 1. Secondly, we've organised a Polaroid camera, a bit of a photo booth situation, and a few fancy dress bits and bobs. So I don't think I really need to say it, but when the time comes, please get involved, get stuck in. But we haven't got that. So I think I'd like to start by welcoming Dennis, father of the bride, up to say a few words, please.
Edwards, calm down.
I'm hoping you can hear me.
On the microphone, put your mic there.
Closer to my chin.
Closer. Yeah.
Even
Is
closer.
that any
Even
good?
closer.
Lift it up.
Mate, it's on George.
That can't be right. In case you're wondering who I am, by now you may have forgotten what the day was about. But I am the father of the bride, and I'm very delighted to be that father. And I'm delighted to be able to talk to you about her and a bit about Joachim as well, just to say, you know, bringing those two families together, how good it's going to be for everyone. That's what I want to say. But talking of families, it's just something that I would like to do first. I'd like to do first, and that's to have just a toast to absent friends.
Oh, yeah.
Absent friends. The absent friend that I particularly remember and embrace, the one that I really remember and embrace, of course, is my old chum from 70 years ago, Phil, father of them all. So, I might be father of the bride, but father of them all is a far, totally embrace it. I'm not going to tell you all about the excitements that we got up to when we were 11 in the streets of London, North London, nor am I going to tell you about the events whilst we were at school, the football we played, the jazz clubs we went to, the menace we made ourselves, the running out of Chinese restaurants. Well, he did, I didn't. and the fun it all was. And then we drifted apart a bit as things happened. And then later on in life, we all met again. And it was this time it was Hannah and her lovely boys. And we met them all, and we have 3 girls, Jessica, Rachel, somewhere here.
Where are you?
Yes.
Hiding. Hi.
And Esther.
Yay!
Lovely girls too. And we met on several occasions, up on Chalons, and the years rolled by and remained persistent friends. Whatever he said, I could put up with. Just about, you know. We did have sulks, you know, where we wouldn't speak for a month or two, and he would always write to me and explaining his point of view in a very academic style, and I would write back and say, I don't care about all that, you were just rude to me. Well, we'll all remember Phil, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yes. Now, so we've got to the occasion here when I really should be saying hi. Willkommen.
Oh, yeah.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Because I have to tell you that on a recent DNA sample that I gave, I'm 25% Viking. Yeah. So beat that, Phil. Okay. Let's move on to Jess and Joachim. Jess, our lovely daughter. She'll be Jessica Ellen Mason, Jem, Jem. My wife reminded me of that and just how nice she is. And she's a lovely mother. Where are you?
Hi.
Where are they?
Zach.
And Zach.
Zach.
Just a little shy. And then there are some others coming into the family from the other side, so to speak. I don't mean that in the intense way of from the other side of
No, no,
who
no.
knows where. It's just the other side of the Linear Nation, if that's the right word. Anyway, I think if I can remember, we have Ilya.
Elliot.
Don't try to remember them all, Dennis. This
And Louis.
Louis, stand up.
And there's another chap who would have been here, but he was tempted by football, I think. tempted by football. Do you know, I think that will do me. Thank you all very much.
That's still on? Yep. Yox has had quite a few best men, all kind of doing various bits and bobs, but I'd like to introduce Neil, who's going to say a few words on behalf of all of us and our sister Eleanor.
Okay. Is that the art? So dedicated, dutiful, driven, ambitious, stylish, entertaining, and handsome. But that's enough about me. I want to say a few words about Joachim. And on behalf of my brother Greg, Kieran, Romilly, and our sister Eleanor, I welcome you. And there is quite a big, strong Scandinavian contingent here, so this won't be the last of the speeches. Now, the Basel family has always been very close, not necessarily geographically. We'd like to see each other more than we do, but there's a great sense of solidarity amongst us, and I know that's something Joachim is very proud of, as we all are. There is a rumour, however, that someone might be coming to North London in the next few weeks for someone's 30th birthday. If he gets his visa sorted out, but if it fits into his plans, we'll see. Being very close to Joachim, I've always had a very healthy competition with him. And this probably stems from our days in Butte in the summers, when Eleanor and I used to come up and spend our summers on Butte. We used to play all sorts of sports together, pool, football, table tennis. Now, usually when you beat someone at table tennis, it's not too bad. And I suppose I did have a few years on Joachim, or many years as he likes to remind me on many occasions. But I suppose what made the table tennis probably more stand out was I used to beat him while sitting on a stool.
He's too tall for the table.
Now, this, I think, was probably the trigger that sort of triggered the rivalry that still exists between us today. And I know Dennis has already mentioned our dad, but I did sort of reference Dad a little bit with this, because I think the competition that we've inherited was passed down to us by our dad. And I know that Dennis and my dad always had a very sort of fierce rivalry when it came to football and the other things that Dennis has mentioned. But I do have to mention one particular instance with Dad, and it always springs to mind with regarding competition. Romilly, our youngest brother, who was I think 7 at the time, was playing pool with Dad in our games room, which was always a ferocious place to be, as you might imagine. And on one particular occasion, Romilly beat Dad at pool, and Dad stormed out of the games room, threw his cue, crossed the table, and called Romilly a name that rhymed with banker. Now, I know that Dad is looking down from us on the Arsenal Jazz Club in the sky, and I know he would be chuffed to bits that the Mason Wright partnership has been restored to its former glories. As you do with brothers and sisters, you watch them travel down different roads, and you celebrate their ups and you support them with the downs. And as is often the case, choosing the right road to find that special someone isn't that easy. But there's still plenty of time, Jess, so don't give up. Us Masons are here to help you every step along the way. As you know, Joachim's been very at home with corporate life. First at IBM, now at Cisco, which I know there's a lot of colleagues here. And he's enjoyed the many benefits that have followed. But I think it's really because of some really blue sky thinking. Some major thought showers. But finally, he's seen sense. He's become reunited with Jess after being childhood friends. I would like to welcome Jess into the family, although I have a feeling over the many years that she actually knows what it entails by now. And there are plenty of sister-in-laws around who will give her lots of advice when needed. It does also remind me of a Mason Wright get-together many years ago, where Dennis and Jackie first witnessed meal times with the Masons, otherwise known as survival of the fittest. And that really hasn't changed at all. I would like to this point actually toast the beautiful bride. Clearly, Joachim has recovered from that table tennis blow in his early life to go on to achieve many great things. Firstly, he's a great dad with 5 wonderful children, and now 2 more. So he's got coach driver to put on his CV. Very successful career with IBM and Cisco. But he knows I'm always available on the hotline if needs be for any IT issues.
Thanks, Neil.
I think it's also fair to say that he's been a very loyal friend to many of you here also, a work colleague. But I think from behalf of all of us, and I think this is a message that we would all echo, he's been a hugely supportive family member to a lot of us. And that's something that we're all very much appreciative of. So thank you, Joachim. Just the final few things. I just think as a family we're very proud to the way he stood up to testing times and conducted himself with a great sense of responsibility. We're all very proud of who you are and what you stand for. And I just want to do 2 last things. Firstly, to wish everybody a really great evening together this evening, and to be upstanding to the bride and the groom. you, everybody.
On that Viking connection note, we're going to break with tradition slightly, but who cares? Mother of the groom.
I've got to know quite a few more of you now. Yesterday and today, and it's great. What, like this?
You have to hold it close.
Okay.
I get Tom Jones.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah.
Well, a few things have been said. There's a few more things that I can say amongst it all. The two families getting together is one thing. And we have had some marvelous times over many years. We have. And it all started in North London with this young man here and his friend Phil. And as we know, they went to school, they loved football, and one day they both married. Not at the same time, but I think Dennis was first. And then Phil married Kate, who's with us today. Kate is the mother of Neil and Eleanor, and the grandmother of others. Yeah, Talia is one, and Lily Day, and Carrick and Morgan. Yeah. And Kate, you were a strong link in London for all of us. And you even opened your home to my boys when it might not have been expected. Thank you for that. And I was the one up on the island, and where Joachim, Gregory, Kian, and Romilly grew up, and where Neil and Eleanor joined us on most school holidays, and joined in all the strange life, milking of cows, the sorting out of sheep, the clipping of geese wings that we didn't do, and the vegetable garden, and everything. Yeah, we learned a lot. We had a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm not going to describe it all because it'll take too long, but it was fun. And I know when they're together, they talk about it. I mean, Eleanor showed round a calf at the agricultural show. And it came,
I've never forgotten it.
and it came third out of 3. Yeah. So we've talked about the holidays we all had. We had brilliant times. It was both on Bute, in Market Drayton, in Derbyshire, and in the Lake District, where the boys once thought, we're going to freeze to death here. The last time we kind of all came together, or one of the last times, was at Phil's Memorial in North London. And I believe it was then that these two young people thought, that's enough. We need to be together. That's the best thing we've ever known. We are so happy about that. And to me, it's the biggest thing that's happened. And it's the start of a new chapter, and it's going to be lovely.
Yeah. There we go. Needs no introduction. Needs no introduction. God. Can you move that now? I don't think we can follow that. I thank you very much, Dennis, for. I've been completely melted. Jess has too. Neil, my mum. I was slightly concerned about my mum, but she nailed it. And I can see a few of my lovely friends from work shifting uneasily at the moment as I've taken the mic. I've got notes, so we will keep slightly to time, I hope.
For once.
For once. Right, wrong?
because you're next,
This is already going longer than it should have been. So this is an amazing gathering for us. And I can't really go any further without doing the traditional and honourable thing of welcoming each and every one of you on behalf of my wife, and I. We are genuinely touched to extraordinary degrees that you're all here in this place that we know quite well. I need to read this bit because you've all come from far and wide. There's a couple of you who have come from California via India. We have numerous parts of Scotland represented, so we can all do Ireland. Wales. That's Justin. Justin Willen from Wales and Karen is here. If you didn't know who Justin and Karen were, they're in that really big motorhome. We have one or two people from Denmark. Welcome. Devon. Where's the Devon crew? There's quite a few from London. Sussex, where's the Brocklehurst? The Cotswolds. Yeah, you do live there, Sarah. Surrey, there's one or two from Surrey. Hampshire, Winchester and others. Berkshire. Buckinghamshire. Greg, you don't live in Buckinghamshire. All right. A little bit closer to home, Shropshire. Staffordshire. Across the road in Green Farm Meadows. Nita, where are you? Where's Nita? Is she here? Oh, Nita's gone. She was here. And down the road in Dockley. Trev and Shirley, where are you? So, God, this is taking ages. Have I missed anyone? No, I don't think so. Okay, right. So I thank Scotland. I said Scotland.
He did! Shut up, Ron!
Ron, if you could just concentrate, that'd be good. So before I go any further, I have one or two duties that I must perform. And there are one or two toasts. I know toasting will be particularly unpopular with you lot. But for the first toast,
what I would like you to do is to raise your glasses. I don't know. To our two simply stunning bridesmaids, Elia and Amelia. There are a couple of toasts, yeah. And as if an excuse was needed for a second toast amongst this gathering, there is a second toast. What I would like to do is to raise a glass. You have to wait till the end. To our amazing and utterly handsome best boys, Zephyr, Louis, Zachary. And as Dennis mentioned, we have a fourth best boy, young Remy, who is away in France this weekend following his dream, flying the Mason footballing flag for Southampton FC. Come on! I'm waiting on the latest updates. I'm sure they're winning. A toast to the best boys. I'm struggling to believe that I'm still on the first page. But none of my work friends are. This is part of the course. I wanted to also say a very big thank you to our good friend Doug, Reverend Doug. I don't know if he's here. Where is he? He's very definitely off duty now, just so you know. That was really wonderful, and you certainly blew my mind with the words that you added. I can't really say any more than that. It was wonderful. Thank you. A big thank you to the beautiful Zoe, Doug's wife, as you mentioned, for delivering that reading. Thank you so much. To my new mother-in-law. For not only the reading, but the efforts, tireless efforts with flowers, with the team. There was a number of them, Jules, Esther and the whole crew, for all the flowers that you saw in the church earlier today. That was quite a mission that went on yesterday, but it was beautiful. That was beautiful, so thank you. And also a big thank you to my beautiful ring bearer mum.
Oh, yes!
Not that I'm in any way dramatic. So here we are in the Hollybush pub in the village of Seifert. A village that we have called home for nearly 4 years now. Our actual home is literally across the road. But it wouldn't be too wide of the mark to say that the Hollybush is pretty much our second Seifert home. Indeed, it was during one of those very infrequent pub visits that Jess, my beautiful wife, first came up with the idea, with the thought of us getting married in our local church and celebrating it here at the Hollybush. Well, we knew kind of straight away that this would be the perfect way for us to celebrate it. So I would like you all to raise a glass and a toast to Mike, Abby, Tish, Tom, and the whole of the Hollybush team. Josh has just joined, I can see hiding just there. To the Hollybush team! Jess drinks in stereo. Some of you may be wondering, and not so much now because Dennis has sort of mentioned it, but wondering how Jess and I met. And the memories are quite vague, but not for the reasons you might be imagining. Because when we first met, I was about 2 years old, and you were but a baby. Our respective fathers, Dennis, who you've seen, and my dad, Phil, were best friends from their school years. Two highly mischievous, hugely competitive lads. And Greg and Kieran have forgotten the next bit, so we'll move on. They used to, one of the things that they used to compete with, or over, was a handsome chart. Which they updated weekly. And they would score themselves on how handsome they looked. We're fairly certain that my dad, Phil, cheated. He was a bit generous. But I would like to say that I think we can safely say, Dennis, that you have stayed the course and are the clear runaway winner in the handsome chart. As was mentioned, there was also a very keen sporting rivalry. Football-wise, my dad was an Arsenal fan, and consequently, so am I, and so are all of his children and grandchildren. And Dennis is a lifelong Spurs fan. And we know that there is perhaps a slightly significant fixture happening later this evening. And we wanted to offer you and the other assembled Spurs fans the kind of good luck message that could only come from the most self-respecting of Arsenal fans. Absolutely heartfelt and genuine, though. So our families have been close for many years. I know that my dad always had a very soft spot for Jess, and he will be very happily watching from on high today. Both he and Jackie were, let's say, instrumental in a couple of Jess and my teenage dalliances. On one such occasion, on the Isle of Bute, which was the Mason family home for many years, and where Jess and family visited a number of times. I think we must have been in her early to mid-ish teens. Mid-ish. Everyone was out on a night out. I'm going to move on. Everyone was out on a night out, and towards the end, I was entrusted with escorting Jess home. She recalls me holding her hand in the taxi all the way home, which was a 6-mile journey. So this wasn't some fly-by-night fleeting hold of the hand. This was proper. A class act even then. When we got home, Jess recalls that I invited her upstairs to my bedroom. Your minds are in the gutter. I said early to mid-teens. Anyway, apparently, I wooed her up to my bedroom with the promise of joining me in listening to my Inspector Morse soundtrack. And this might go some way to explaining the gap of more than 20 years before we got together properly. So winding the clock forward a few years, more than a few, I think most people, everyone here, will know that life is very much full of some amazing highs and some difficult lows. Jess, and my path to this point has been no different. Indeed, when my dad passed very nearly 5 years ago to this day, this was the prompt for Jess to send me a little message, which became the start of us being back in touch and ultimately led us to being at this point today. We have been very lucky both as individuals and as a couple to have had the incredible support from close family and friends, and without whom we really wouldn't have managed through some of the more difficult periods. I will never forget today's MC, Chief Scouser, my brother Greg, and my Cunada, Mon, wherever she is. Their amazing support in giving me a home and a roof over my head for what turned out to be a few more months than I think they originally bargained for. Their flat became known as Heartbreak Hotel for a short while. Jess's sister Esther and my brother-in-law, no, your brother-in-law, my brother-in-law, Lee, sorry, were a massive help to Jess, and us both, in fact. I can't see the name.
Wesley? Oh, there he is.
They were also influential and instrumental in our early days, and there was often almost military-style operations to enable Jess and I to see one another, so thank you very much, both of you. Jess and I, still going on, Jess and I fully embrace that these are the things that have shaped us and make us who we are. And we're incredibly fortunate that our paths have led us here. Now, so, it was about the time of Prince Harry and Meghan's wedding. Do you remember that? It was about that time that we set our wedding date. And I remember Jess, she's moved away. I remember Jess having seen some snippets of the wedding and witnessing Harry shedding a tear, telling me in her best Stokey accent, and I can't do the Stokey accent, but what I can do is the curly finger. When Jess does the curly finger, I'm in a lot of trouble. When she does straight finger, everything's fine, that's just fine. Curly finger, a lot of trouble. And she said that if I didn't shed a tear at some point during the ceremony or the reception, that the whole thing was off. I did shed a tear. I just shed another one though. Now we know that no groom speech is complete without saying lots of lovely things about the groom, the groom and his new wife. So, let me see what Jess has written for me. No, seriously, those of you who know Jess will know that she'll be the last person to say anything remotely complimentary about herself, to a fault, in fact. But she has someone in me who can't quite believe his luck, as to have found his path leading to her. I can't really do justice with my words in the same way that Gerald Durrell did with his from the reading in the service earlier. However, you don't need me to tell you just how beautiful she is. And in terms of how she looks today, when she walked into the church earlier this afternoon, she quite literally took my breath away. Jess has incredible depth and warmth as a human being. She's highly intelligent, she'll tell you otherwise, but she's highly intelligent with a simply wonderful, irreverent and sharp sense of humour and a capacity for fun. Which means that we genuinely do spend a lot of our time just rolling about laughing and wrapped up in whatever silliness is the order of the day. She is an amazing mother to Zachary and Amelia, and I see that firsthand a lot. The pair of them are an absolute credit to her and how she is bringing them up. Jess has also opened her heart fully to my sizeable brood. We really are quite a sight when the 8, sometimes 9 of us are on the move. Indeed, we once got a round of applause from a nearby table when we all sat down to eat at a restaurant in Kingston. Whether it was for our bravery or stupidity, I'll never be quite sure. Whilst again she gives herself little credit to this, she is, I know, a gifted and much loved teacher. Both to her classroom of rascals, as she calls them, when she likes them, and to her colleagues, past and present, many of whom are here today. Last page. Our circumstances and the way that we have to prioritise all the different aspects of our lives with the kids, with our time together, with work, our life here in Seifert, our life down in Farnham, it can be a little bit mind-boggling, not least to ourselves at times. But right from the start, Jess is committed to us and to those circumstances, and for me shows every day that she understands fully what a partnership in life is all about. I guess in life that there are things that through it all you perhaps didn't even let yourself imagine coming true or even being possible, to be honest, to think that they were possible. It's genuinely hard to find the words for precisely how lucky I feel to have found a partnership in life with Jess that is so genuine and has such depth, and how happy and excited I am for what lies ahead for Jess and I. I would also like to thank Dennis and Jackie and the Wright family for being so welcoming of me into their family. It has meant the world to have your blessing. And I really wasn't certain of the best and most appropriate way to finish my speech, I was. But I think I'll end where I kind of started, and that is with a toast. A toast to the bride and a toast to my wife. And I don't have a glass. Thank you everyone for coming. Have a lovely evening. Oh, and it's food time. Finally.
Brilliant.